So this winter in Michigan, we have not got much snow, except now we're here in spring at the end of March and we're getting dumped on. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to check out the Cybertruck. We're gonna look around the outside, check out some features of it in the snow. We're gonna try the wiper. We're gonna look at the headlights because that's been a little controversial. And then later today, I'm gonna go drive it in the snow, see how it does on the stock all-terrain tires. They're not snow tires, but they should do okay, but we're gonna find out. And yeah, let's just go around the Cybertruck. Now, before I get into these features, this thing is so controversial in every way possible. I took a quick clip of the windshield wiper, the one big windshield wiper wiping off the snow. It's a fluffy, powdery snow. So if you look here like this, it's very fluffy. It's not frozen on there or anything. It was like a 30-second clip of it wiping off the windshield. And I had comments saying how amazing it was. And then there were comments saying I rigged it and I was trying to make it look bad. And I'm like, what the heck? All I did was wipe snow off the windshield with the windshield wiper. Isn't that what people do? So yeah, comment away. Let me know all of the things I did terribly or the things I did great. I'd love to hear from you. But just so you know, I'm just checking it out and seeing how it does in these different conditions. So let's go around the car, check out some exterior features that people have talked about. And then I'm gonna preheat it, I'm gonna precondition it, probably for 30 minutes or so. It's totally normal. If you don't have an EV, just so you know, it's totally normal to precondition your car for 30 minutes to even an hour before you leave. Because when you're home and you're plugged in, it's basically free. I mean, you're paying for it, but it's free energy. You're not gonna lose any energy by preheating like you do with gas, where you're sitting there and you're burning gas as you wait. Here, you're plugged into the wall. If my battery's at 80% and I precondition for an hour, my battery's still at 80%. So it's totally normal to precondition for 30 minutes or an hour before you leave, just to make sure everything is nice and warm and all melted. But we'll probably just test for 30 minutes or so just to see how it does and see what gets cleaned off. So let's check out the exterior features. This video is brought to you by Joa, maker of premium Tesla and vehicle accessories. Claim your discount by using the link in the description below. All right, so first of all, probably most importantly, is getting in. So there is just a button right there to get into the car, and nothing's gonna be frozen here. It is below freezing out, but it hasn't been for very long, and the car wasn't wet at all. So this isn't gonna cover if the door is frozen, but I don't think that'll be a problem, but I can't test that today. So the button is right here. I could brush this off with my glove, I could get my snow brush and brush it off, or I can simply just guess, and I got it right on the first try, and poke right there, and then the door opens and you can get in. Pretty much no snow fell in there, which is nice. Sometimes that happens with cars. And we can do it again with the back door, or I guess I can show you a different method. Maybe I just do that, and look, there's the button with one swipe. I can click there, open it up, and we're in the car. No big deal. So the buttons, are they gonna get frozen? I would guess not. At least they're not in this condition. But there you go. The charge port is heated, so not something I need right now because it's been plugged in all night. And when you're charging or preconditioning, it's gonna keep all of this warm. Your cable will get warm from the electricity running through it. This whole area will get warm. But let's see if I brush this off, and unplug here. That will close on its own. So no problem there, all closed. And then if I click, it should reopen. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There you go. Things were turning on there. I think the car might have been asleep, and there you go. So that opens up, and no biggie. So we're plugged in. And then, you know, all this snow is whatever. Now, the cover. So again, this will happen with other vehicles. I'm not like singling out the Cybertruck. It's just, I have a Cybertruck, and I'm talking about the experience with the Cybertruck. So I actually already did this once. We got a little snow before we left for Florida, and if you open this, the snow is gonna fall in. Now, is it gonna mess up the tracks? Is it gonna get in there and get all gunked up and make the tracks break in a month or something? I would guess not, but of course that's more long-term testing. This is my Cybertruck, I own it, I live with it, so we'll see that in the future as time goes on. But for now, let's try this out. So if I wanted to open the tonneau cover, so first of all, let's get the buttons cleared. There you go, you can see the buttons. If I wanna open that, look at, very nice. Hey, the snow stayed on there. It was it was such a gentle fall, and then it fell off. So bed is totally clear. You can see there's nothing in there at all. It's absolutely clear. And opening this didn't get any snow in there, and I guess I can still access my sub-trunk storage. No big deal. Now, if I open this with the buttons here, let's do it a little bit. So a little bit of snow is falling in there. There you go, but not much. What's mostly going to happen is it's going to be falling in as it gets pushed down. I don't really want to put a bunch of snow in there right now. I guess I can for the video, but hey, look at that. And then that's cleared off. So let me close that. What I would really do, let me show you. So what I would really do if I needed to open this tonneau cover is I would just brush the snow off before I open it, okay? Look at all the snow is gone. It's really not that big of a deal. I know people are gonna lose their minds in both directions on this, but whatever. So let's leave the snow on there, open it up and see what happens. I think we all know. So it just gets stuck up there, and as the cover moves. So the good news is it looks like no snow, or basically no snow, went up into that mechanism back there. Let's just hop in and look. It pretty much got stuck at the roof line and then all fell into the bed. So sucks for me, but cool for the video, good for you. So there you go, we can actually see in there, there's just the tiniest bit of snow. It almost looks like this lip, this overhang here, pretty much protected the interior mechanisms from getting too much snow in there, and everything, like you saw, was pushed into the bed. Unless you're from Florida, I don't think you need a tutorial on this, but then to get the snow out, I basically would just brush it all out. Right now, I don't care, I'm making a video for you, but it's not the end of the world. It's a truck bed, who cares? There you go, there's snow in it. I really don't care. We can close this back up. No problems. You can see there is some snow on there, but for now, I'm just gonna close this up, and I'll probably, honestly, just let that melt and flow out, or I'll clean it out later. I don't really care. Just so you know, the car is not preconditioning right now because I want to set up a camera to record that. Actually, you know what? Let me start that. No, let's keep going. All right. So this is where I think the most controversial thing is that I do think is a bit concerning. So let's start with the headlights. So right here, this is a daytime running light. This is not a headlight. It's for aesthetic purposes and to help people see you. But there you go. So that's clear. Whatever. The headlights are down here under all the snow. So if we look here, now that's my headlight. Now it's clear. And that was very easy to clear. There you go. It's ready to go. But people are concerned, which is fair, that this lip and this, how it's an interior area here, see how this comes out and you can kind of fit stuff in there? This is going to basically collect snow and block your headlights. Now, I will say, on older cars, if you're younger, you don't, really know this, but on older cars, the headlights were bulbs and they got hot. So even if there was snow on your headlights, even if it was this design, they would melt the snow away in a decently short amount of time. No big deal. On new cars, because they're LEDs, they don't make much heat. They don't melt any snow. So if I was to come out here with my Model Y, which I used to park here for 2 years, it would look just like this. Obviously, it would be covered in snow. So what would I do? Before I would drive away, I'd go up to the headlights on my Model Y and I'd do this and I'd clean them off. Because if I didn't, the wind may or may not blow that snow off of there, and I wouldn't have headlights. So with LED lights, you do have to make sure that they're cleaned off before you go. This setup here may be a little more dramatic, and maybe while you're driving, we'll be better at catching snow. I don't know yet, but it does seem like a lot of snow built up right here, and I do have to wipe that away. So there's that. Let me see if I can just flash the headlights really quick. Maybe I should have done that before I cleaned all the snow off. So here we go. I'll give you a headlight flash. There's the headlights, so you can see where they are. And I'm going to put some snow back in that area for our preheating test, and I'll flash them again for you. All right, so I placed that snow there, but I think that's fair enough. You can see this is the snow I didn't touch. That's how it built up. This is the snow I put back just to demonstrate for you. So let me flash again. So you can barely see that headlight through the snow there. If I flash those, you can see it actually a little bit, but barely. And we'll have that snow there for the preheating test, and we'll see if maybe that area is heated. I really have no idea. Now the frunk. I don't want to do this, but I'll do it for the video. Somebody asked, if you open the frunk, is the snow going to fall in? I think it's kind of obvious it's going to fall in, but hey, let's do it for fun and see what happens. And this would be any car, so I don't think this is a big deal. So your frunk button is down here somewhere. It's right here. So you can push auto frunk. Let's see if it can open with the weight of the snow. Again, the snow's pretty fluffy, so it's not that heavy. Hey, look at that. It didn't all come crashing in. So that's actually pretty nice. So there you go. Let's close it. See if it can close without all the snow falling in. Oh, it's starting to. Nope. So there you go. The snow stayed on there. It did not all fall in. Very nice. See, this is why we do these tests. That's not the result I expected, and it performed better than I thought. All right, let's preheat this bad boy. All right, so let's get started here. We have been sitting out here all night. The truck has not been on since well over 12 hours ago. So I'm just going to click defrost truck right there. And it says 10:15 on the clock there. So we'll come back, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, whatever I'm able to do. And we'll check on it and see what snow has melted off. You can hear it ramping up there. Oh yeah, sucking in a lot of air. We'll see what snow has melted off. We'll see where we need to brush it off with a snow brush, you know, normal car stuff. But it's Cybertruck, so everyone thinks it's the best at everything and the worst at everything ever known to man. So I'm also gonna try version 12 FSD beta out in this crazy snow. So make sure you hit like and get subscribed if you don't want to miss that one. I will check back with you after this is preheated, and then we're gonna take it for a drive and see how it does. Efficiency, slipping, all that. All right, it's been about 35, 40 minutes. Wow, that actually looks really good. So this side, of course, I had kind of messed with by opening the doors, but look at the windshield there. There's pretty much nothing left on it. Very nice. I did notice, I took a screenshot. I basically walked in the house, and at 4 minutes, the cabin was up to almost 80 degrees. So it warmed up the cabin real quick, but of course, everything inside is gonna be really cold. So having this, you know, half hour or 40-minute warm up helps a lot. Let me turn the heater down a little bit just to help with sound. All right, actually I left it on, and before we turn it off, let's leave it on for now. Got a temperature checker here, so you can see this camera's clear. If we check the temperature on that camera, we're at 66 or about 20 degrees Celsius. Pretty cool. Now, what made me go grab this is I'm looking at the cover here, and why is this all melted? There's no way this is heated. Zero chance. Yeah, so that's showing 0 degrees. I don't know why this is all watery there. If we go to Fahrenheit, of course, that's about 32, so 31.5. That's interesting. I don't know why it's all melted. Just must be a consequence of what I did earlier, and maybe enough light is hitting it. I'm not sure. So let's check out the stainless steel, see how cold that is. It is, wow, in this area, it's 48. So that is definitely warmed. Change that over to Celsius. I mean, that's above freezing, 5 degrees Celsius. What if we go to one of the doors here? So 6 Celsius or 40 Fahrenheit. Wow, so this is getting pretty warm. What's going on out here? Let's check the snow real quick. Let's make sure this thing is calibrated. Yeah, the snow is 23 or 4 degrees Celsius. Okay. What about the back here? There's no way that this is warm. There you go. So we got 3 Celsius or 25 Fahrenheit on the tailgate there, the metal part. What about away from the charge port? Right about here. So yeah, we're still frozen here, 24 or -4. So if we go back to the charge port area here, this whole section is above freezing. This plastic is not, that's frozen. And if I get here, this is above freezing. Not that warm though, or 2. I mean, you only need it to be barely above freezing. I'm surprised it's actually not warmer there. If we check the handle, yeah, it's still pretty cold. Right here where it's connected, yeah, it's getting above freezing. This whole area though, is getting some warmth. Pretty interesting. All right, and if we go to this side, you can see windows are cleared off. So that's nice. My camera, actually the snow has fallen onto the camera here. You can see it's still melting. Snow has fallen onto the camera here. What I'm most impressed by though, is that windshield. Of course, I wiped off earlier some of that, so it wasn't that thick. It's thicker over here, but that's really good. And then we're gonna hop in and wipe away whatever we can with the blade there. But before you drive, like on any car, you would wipe this away. And wow, look at this, where I wiped it, it like melted on the stainless steel and then started to freeze again. That's really interesting. But I would just take a brush or my arm and just wipe that away before I start driving and get that out of the way. Now let's check these headlights. Obviously I cleaned that one off. That does look a tiny bit melty, but I think what had happened is this melt is dripping down, and then it's kind of starting to clear that away. So unfortunately, it does not look like that area is heated. So right in the light there is 21. Yeah, so there's no heating on the headlights there. For you Celsius people, that's at -6 right in the headlights is where I'm pointing that. And then again, the front bumper here, or the front of the hood, I guess, 7 or 18. So all frozen there. And then we could check the windshield. That is 48 Fahrenheit, very nice, or 8 degrees Celsius. So well above freezing. why that snow is melting for us. Let's see if this button is heated. That would make sense, but it doesn't look like it. I mean, it's not cleared off, and I obviously had poked that earlier. So yeah, 24 or -4 Celsius. I'm trying to get above the snow. Yeah, it's -4 Celsius. So unfortunately, they didn't heat the buttons. I think that would have been pretty smart. Check this button. Yeah, -3 Celsius. So definitely not heated on the button there. That would have been another good spot to put some heating elements. What about my mirrors? I don't know how well this works. So you can see the laser. I don't know. You can see the laser reflecting off the mirror. That is above freezing, whatever I'm pointing at. So that's good. That part is heated. What about the wiper blade? I feel like it is heated. Let's get that on there. So the wiper blade itself is showing 3 Celsius or 38 Fahrenheit. So that is above freezing. And if I put it right here, we immediately drop below freezing, 24 or -2. And then we immediately jump above freezing. So the wiper blade is heated. I wonder if I can feel that. I mean, obviously it's not that warm, but yeah, I can't really tell with my fingers, but that's why we have a measuring tool here for us. 4 Celsius. The top of it, you can see is a little colder, but right here on that blade portion is warming up just a little bit. One thing I forgot to check was the roof. So you can see the snow is starting to melt off the roof. All right, let's hop in. Wipe that away, and I'm very curious if we still got a snowflake going here. We've been warming up for about 40 minutes at this point. And yeah, so the battery is still showing that it's cold. We're at 76 degrees. If we go into the battery menu here, you can see that we still have some blue cold battery after about 40 minutes of warming up. So it seems that these 4680s are not a huge fan of the cold. They're big. They're going to take a long time to warm up because they have a lot of surface area and a lot of internal volume. And look at that. Wiping away. So let's hit a wiper blade real quick. Man, that thing is wicked fast. So yeah, I mean, you preheat this for a half hour or so, you're going to be all clear. Again, I would brush all that off before I start driving, but that's pretty much any car. All right, I'm getting nitpicky. We're about to hop in and go for a drive, but I will mention this part's heated. So all the snow slides down and lands right on this ledge and covers the button even after you've wiped it away. I just automatically did it because I was getting in, but yeah, should have just heated, come on, the whole thing. All right, so here we go. I will say we've had the car on for gotta be close to an hour, maybe over an hour now. We still got the snowflake, so pretty interesting. Let's get driving and see how it does. I will say the auto shift out of park has been like perfect, like 100% on this thing. On our Model X, it used to get it wrong all the time. I have a cool exterior camera as well, but let's use our 4-wheel steering to get out of here. Immediately off the bat, grip feels good. We're obviously going really slow. No big deal. There you go. Oh, is that an icicle in the front? What the heck? There's an icicle right in front of the camera. I wonder if I can clean it off. Let's see. Nope, it is a 3-dimensional icicle that is too far away from the camera. But nice to have that option anyway. All right, let's try out this wiper here before we get going too far. Oh man, that works great. That's actually awesome. All right, let me get out of here a little bit and I will catch up with you in just a second. But man, check out this rear wheel steering. That exterior camera shot is hopefully really cool. I can see the camera there when we do these big turns. Yeah. So let me get up to speed a little bit here and slam on the brakes and just see. I mean, again, these are all-terrain tires. They're not exactly snow tires, but man, they should be pretty grippy. You can see here, we have not plowed or anything on this road. So we're getting up. Hey, no music here. And we're at 14. Slam on the brakes. Of course, a little bit of sliding, but it actually straightened itself right out. And we stop. I would say that is perfect hard braking snow performance. No problem there at all. All right, so we're on the dirt roads here. It does unfortunately look like they've been plowed or at least had a lot of driving on them. I'm gonna try not to do too much crazy acceleration and stuff just because I wanna get kind of a decently accurate assessment of our efficiency here. So we're at 520 watt-hours per mile, which is quite a bit. But I would expect that big jump. Look at that track. Oh my goodness. Look at the tracks we're leaving behind us. Just a huge, you can see right through the dirt to the dirt where we're driving. I want to try to get some type of, sentiment of our efficiency here. Now, one thing I'll show you, we're in medium right now. I can go up to high, remove location and keep until 25. So high will stay until 25 miles an hour. I'll try to keep it down there. I don't feel like I need it. I already feel like I'm very high up. No problem at all. There's not 10 feet of snow here. I know other places will get 10 feet of snow, and your 1999 Oldsmobile has no problem with rear-wheel drive driving through that, but this is what we got today to test. So, feels good. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not the craziest snow ever, but you can see it's actively snowing. There is fresh snow on the ground. It's 28 degrees, so we're getting to that point where the snow gets hard and wet and really slippery and slushy. So let me slam on the brakes again here at 26. So we're sliding. Look at that wiper. That wiper's like, no, you're not coming down here. I mean, that was a normal amount of sliding for a snowy road. I don't know what to tell you. So wiper is missing a little bit of liquid there, which I think is making it kind of panic a little bit, but we'll see. One thing I'll mention, the wiper position is really nice for cleaning off, which I did not clean the wiper off when you come out. So if you don't live in a snowy climate, you might not realize you actually have to sometimes clean your wipers off. They'll have a bunch of ice and snow on them, and if you don't clean them off before you start driving, you'll get stuff like this, these streaks. So if I would have cleaned the wiper off, I maybe could have avoided that. But if we go into the climate here, we do have, let me just slow down here, heated wipers. So let me turn that on. The heated wiper was not even on. Now, for the defrost, it was. And then this should be, I don't even know what that is. What is that symbol? The roof? I don't know. Let's turn it on. And I don't need it on the front. So we'll keep our heated wipers on. Oh, it looks like my camera's getting covered in snow. But yeah, I mean, accelerates right up to speed. This is the speed I would drive in these conditions, maybe 20, 25, something like that. It feels great. I mean, compared to other cars I've had with, actual snow tires on them, I have no complaints here. Now you can see the back camera is starting to get covered up, and guess what? Back camera does not have a washer like the front camera does. So you can see that icicle is still on our way. That is hilarious. There's an icicle right there. We'll have to stop and get that off there. And then the rear camera, I mean, I can still see perfectly fine, but there's no washer on there. If it does get covered up, there's not much I can do. You can hear the birds out there, even though it's winter. I mean, it's spring, but looks like winter. All right, so this is a pretty steep hill that I have slid going down and also not been able to get up this hill when I didn't have snow tires. So let's try to stop on the hill and see if we can stop. Again, all of this is up to tires. These are the stock all-terrain tires. They should do pretty decently, maybe not the best you'll ever see. So I'm fully on the brake here and we're sliding. We're not stopping. We're still sliding. Now what I would do in real life is I would then give it a little accelerator press so I could gain control again. But just for the fun of it, we're sliding down this hill. I mean, it's 6,500 pounds. I'm not surprised by that at all. So we stopped. We're still slightly on the hill a little bit. Let's swing it around here and see if we can get back up that hill. I'm going to guess that's going to be no problem at all. But you never know. I'll try to go slow to make it hard. So we got our four-wheel steering here, getting us in a circle. No problem with this part. Gripping, no problem here. Tiny bit of sliding right there. And let's get up this hill. So we'll keep it around 10 miles an hour or so. What is this, mile per hour max? Oh, that's for the TAC, traffic aware cruise control. So you can see we have our traction control kicking in there, helping us get up this hill. Oh yeah, if we're not getting stopped at this 8 miles per hour, we're not gonna have any problem at all. Traction control in Teslas is amazing. Probably some of the best you'll ever find as of today. And that helps you a lot even when you don't have the proper tires for the conditions. With this kind of thing, yeah, I mean, we're getting up that hill. On video, it's not gonna look that steep, okay? I promise, I've gotten stuck on that hill in all kinds of cars, front wheel drive, all wheel drive, that didn't have snow tires. With snow tires, I've never had a problem on that hill. Now, auto wiper is not that impressive for me right now. It's always kind of hit or miss in snow in my Tesla history. So I'd probably just kind of click it as I go, maybe leave it on auto and just click it whenever I need it. But I will say it does a fantastic job of cleaning the windshield. You can see a little line there. Let's see if that'll go away. Yep. So I'm very happy with the performance, at least in these mild conditions right now. All right, I said I was gonna try to keep our efficiency decent, but whatever, let's step on it and see what happens. All the way to the floor. The truck knows that it has no grip. So it's getting that grip for me. It's doing all the work and bringing us up to speed. I still have it all the way to the floor. That's about as fast as I wanna go. Yeah, it got us right out of that, of course. Not the right way to do it. You know what we can also try since we're on the dirt roads? We might as well try off-road mode. Why not? So in off-road, we have overland, we'll keep it there. All-purpose, we don't have a snow option, so we're not gonna do that. Maybe sand would work, but we'll just stick in all-purpose. Stopping mode, I still wanna hold. I'll leave the rest of that. And then we are in high setting. I don't really need to go any higher than that, so we'll stick with high. And it will not auto shift out of park here, so that makes sense. So I will tell it to go forward. Vitals, look at that. So let's keep our vitals up here. Can I move this? There we go. So we're in off-road, we get fractions of our speed when we're in off-road mode. This is still blocking some of the info. So motor temp is 91. I guess we'll block motor temp. So they need to adjust that a little bit. And ride height, very cool. It's showing us the ride height at all the different places. And we can see the, wow, rear motor is 61, front motor is 90. Our battery is still 52. That's pretty cold after driving and preconditioning and everything. So everything is looking good here. We can't click any of this. So locking differential controls coming soon. So I can't do that. I don't need to do that here. But if you are off-roading, you would want that. This is where it would be. But that's nice that they let us know it's coming soon. And then traction control is off because we're off-road mode. That makes sense. But we're about to go back on road, so I'm probably gonna park it and adjust that here in a second. All right, so we're back to on-road mode here, and we're gonna go a little faster now. So you can see these roads have been treated. So these roads are plowed, salted, and a lot of driving on them, but we'll get a little faster just to get a little bit of our efficiency info out of here. Again, this is probably like really, maybe not worst case scenario for efficiency, but a bad case scenario for efficiency because I keep stopping and starting and parking and accelerating hard. We're not giving the battery time to warm up. If you're on a big long trip where you're like hitting superchargers, your battery is gonna stay warm that whole time. So yes, I'm making a couple excuses for the car, but just to give you context that the efficiency is probably gonna look bad. Let's see, oh yeah, well, for this drive, I just accelerated. We're at 704 watt hours per mile pretty much so far. And that would look a little better on a longer journey, but on what we're doing here today, this is what you're gonna get. Wiper stays down there, I guess, when it's on and it is keeping stuff away from you. I find that kind of weird, but yeah, see now it's over here because it turned off. So auto is gonna be really weird with that. But 60 miles an hour, we're at about 700 watt hours per mile. So as we slow down here and get a little regen, that's gonna, yeah, there you go, it's gonna drop pretty quick. So we went from 700 to 660 almost immediately, 648, and as we get to this stop sign. So, you know, again, as you do different types of driving, if you stick at 60 miles an hour for 1 hour and don't stop, it's gonna be a lot higher than if you go 60 miles an hour, slow down a bit, speed back up, because that regen will bring that average down. So as we go to this stop sign, looks like we're gonna be right under 600. Wow, 560, that's dropping a lot. Is there anybody behind me? If not, we're gonna four-wheel steer our way out of here. Let's see if I can just do this. Oh my goodness, this thing turns like crazy. Man, that's nice. All right, we'll accelerate back up here and head back. That front camera, that is a wild perspective. It just looks so, that's not a nice thing to look at when you're driving. Obviously, you don't have to have it up. I can look at the rear cam, that makes a lot more sense for while driving. But this looks like you're in hyper warp speed. It doesn't really help you with much when you're going these speeds. You can really hear the motor whine. I'm not sure if that's accentuated by the cold temperatures and the motor like getting up to temperature or what's going on, but it's a lot louder than I remember from our road trip. So a hard stop here. No problem at all. We'll get back onto these dirt roads. And to be fair, so we're at 611 watt hours per mile. I used a lot of brake there, so not a whole ton of regen helping us out. I also have a camera hanging off the side hurting the aero. There's all the excuses for Cybertruck. You're getting about 600 watt hours per mile in the colder weather. That sounds about right to me. I would say overall, just what I'm experiencing here, I mean, flying up that hill, really good. Traction control in all Teslas is just phenomenal. And I don't expect that to be any different here. The added weight can help and also hurt. It can make it harder to stop when you're slipping, but it can help give you additional grip when you're trying to get going in slippery conditions. So with this quick preview, I mean, it drives like a car with all-terrain tires in snow. It's got my assessment. If I had snow tires, things would be better. If I had summer tires, we probably would have flown off the road by now and crashed. It mostly comes down to the tires, but traction control also helps a lot. All right, and there's our rear camera problems. We're getting covered, and now I have no rear view. So if I take this away, you can see this is what I would be dealing with. That's my rear view mirror right there. And I can see a bit, but the middle of it's mostly covered in snow. And there's no way to clean it, Tesla. How did you let me clean the front one and not the back one? I don't get it. Wow, look at all that washer fluid. I didn't even press it that long. And we gotta get this icicle out of here. You're right in my way. All right, so with that quick drive, I got 3 suggestions to improve this experience. Number 1, put a washer on the back camera. Seems obvious, but there you go. Number 2, heat the buttons for getting into the car. That whole column should be heated. Number 3, heat the headlights. Come on,